What's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it.
It's like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let them hate.
Okay, I'm just kidding as usual. Before we get into this vibe-worthy video, I got a newsflash for you. If you didn't know, well, dog, now you know. I got a second channel by the name of Yo Mojo. On Yo Mojo, that's where I'll be more active. It's a basketball channel as well, just like this one too. And I'll be doing basketball related topics, and I'll just be airing out my thoughts whenever I feel like it, with no real effort, of course, when it comes to editing. I'll be talking about random relevant topics, NBA post-game talks. I'll be streaming once the NBA finals come around, and also I'll be doing reaction videos to your favorite mainstream media shows, mostly really my favorite, First Take and also Undisputed. Now I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling pretty confident that you can go ahead and get us to 1,000 subscribers by next week on the Yo Mojo channel. Let's do it. So the 2020 NBA playoffs has started to come to a close, and we now know just about how 97% of these teams performed. After all the narratives, the hype, the underrating, and surprising predictions that we've seen, it is now time to put these teams to the test and grade each and every team's playoff performance. Now I have to add that over here in Mojo's class, I'm not no regular teacher, bro. I'm a tough grader. I don't let nothing slide over here. I expect certain things, and if certain things aren't done, then I'm going to fail your favorite team. And if any of my students, my viewers, give me back talk, I promise you I'll be so quick to put you in suspension hell for eternity, aka I'm gonna block you for life. So let the lesson begin while we go over our test. Probably the most second surprising team in the playoffs are the Miami Heat. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody knew that they were this good. Because of the multiple tools that they had to their disposal, they have so many working parts that work in unison together. They were not supposed to be better than the Milwaukee Bucks and wipe the floor with Giannis while smoking that Chris Middleton pack. They were the ones that were supposed to be wiped. Miami is the bully in this situation and has been terrorizing every single playoff team so far they faced. And it kind of makes sense because they have so many quality role players and 2 to 3 players who can give you 20 to 25 in their sleep. That being Jimmy Butler, which should be expected, Goran Dragic, which many don't take seriously, and rookie Tyler Hero, which is crazy to say. I remember just about 8 to 9 months ago, I said that Tyler Hero probably should have been a top 3 pick, and I got crucified for that. And what do you know? This is what makes Tyler special. That damn near delusional confidence, mixed with his skill, of course, turned him from Tyler to Terrell in my eyes. His name is Terrell Hero, and he turns into Terrell Hero when the stage is the brightest. For young players around that age group, literally the opposite is supposed to happen. That's when young players fold, and that's when we tend to give young players passes. But no, he's doing the complete opposite thing. You couldn't think of another coach in the league who could gather this group of guys together and make it work. Eric Spoelstra is the orchestrator of all this and is getting his much-deserved spotlight. And now they're on the cusp of their first NBA Finals appearance since 2014. Without a superstar player, this Miami Heat team is going down as one of the best in history, because we rarely ever see teams constructed like this without a top 5 to 10 player win at a high level. And not to mention that they added so many new players throughout the season. Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Jay Crowder, Andre Iguodala, Duncan Robinson, and Kendrick Nunn, who's literally done just about none throughout the entire playoff. The Miami Heat, man, what a time it is to be a Miami Heat fan. I wish I was one low-key right now too. But anyways, to cut the hullabaloo, they get an A+ for their breathtaking performance. Y'all deserve it. Someone else in the Eastern Conference who had a breathtaking performance, but not in a good way at all, are the Milwaukee Bucks. I honestly was prepared to call them the most devastating and disappointing team in the postseason, but there just happens to be another team in the NBA that deserves all that treatment and all that disrespect, but we're not going to get into them just yet. Everyone from head to toe on that Bucks team deserves this treatment, starting off with management. How the hell and why do you guys let go Malcolm Brogdon, the former rookie of the year who was a serious fit next to Giannis? They let that dude walk away. Listen, I don't know who thought that was a good idea and did that and decided to re-up Bledsoe mid-season as if you like predetermined that Bledsoe was going to be the better player, the better fit next to Giannis Antetokounmpo. When in reality, bro, you're just clowning yourself and you're setting yourself up for heavy failure later on down the road, which we'll talk about later in the future videos. But yeah, man, whatever group of people thought that was a good idea, you deserve to be assaulted. Violently assaulted, actually, for violating Giannis's future and his success. My voice just cracked and we're really not gonna talk about it, and if you screen record this, I ain't gonna lie, you may get blocked for life from me too. Just kidding. Oh, and Mike Budenholzer, you're not going anywhere either. His lack of a response and adjusting mid-game was already concerning, but the minute restrictions he gave to his best player is really worrisome, and I believe believe that that alone should cost him his job. Resting your star player a certain amount of minutes is understandable throughout the regular season, but to do it in the playoffs also is completely pointless, and it completely contradicts the entire point of resting some players during the regular season. Giannis literally just stepped foot into his prime. This man is 25 years old and he already has 2 MVPs and a Defensive Player of the Year award attached to his name, and you decide to rest this man? Minute restrictions and limitations should only be placed on hobbled players, injured players, and elderly players. That's it. Guys like a LeBron James or a Kevin Durant next season, for instance. But even those guys, LeBron, KD, and the upper echelon of star players, wouldn't let their head coach sell them out on a playoff game. I say that to ask this: Giannis, what the hell was going on, man? The best of the best in the history of the game don't always listen to the coach. Literally, no star player always abides by the coach's words every single time. And for Giannis to abide by whatever he says really worries me, and it makes me question whether or not he's really that dude. Now, I'm not saying that he won't win a ring at all. I still believe he'll get at least a ring or 2, or maybe even 3 throughout his career. But you just don't win a Defensive Player of the Year award and an MVP award in the same damn year just to lose in 5 games in the second round to the underdogs. I give him an F, really an F minus. F stands for frauds, because the Milwaukee Bucks and also Chris Middleton, y'all looking hella suspect right now. The Boston Celtics. A good thing to note is that they're just now getting back Gordon Hayward. He's a big part of the reason why they're so good. Their wing play is so deep. JB, JT, Kemba, and Hayward can all get you an efficient 20-piece any day of the week. But Hayward's absence really hurt them way more than people think. I believe that if he was alongside their crew in round 2, they would have beat Toronto in 5 to 6 games rather than taking it all the way to 7 games. Now, this is still a relatively young team with vets here and there, but they're mostly young players on this team. Their time will come and they'll eventually finally be serious championship contenders in the next 2 to 3 years. Until then though, they really need to work on how to maintain leads and continue to put your foot down someone's throat and step on the gas. Where the Celtics has gotten to the point to where all their fans and everybody around the block knows that they're going to blow a 20, 15, 16 point lead every single game. This shouldn't be a characteristic at all. No leads are safe for them because those boys like to blow. Other than that though, they really didn't have many disgusting playoff performances, but they also didn't blow me out the water and leave my jaw dropping. And for that, you know, I can sympathize with them and give them a B. So the Toronto Raptors made it just as far as their former star player who left them, Kawhi Leonard, in the playoffs, which is the second round, of course. So this L right here makes them feel a lot better about themselves. So at worst case scenario, right off the bat, they already passed, they got a C. I believe that if it wasn't for Pascal Siakam's disappearance though, they would have been the team to face the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals instead of Boston. As an entirety though, their performances were respectable. That's an easy B, not much to discuss here though. There is a whole bunch to talk about though when we get to the Philadelphia 76ers. Good lord, they stunk it up. Now it is very important to realize that they were missing their second best player, their all-star point guard in Ben Simmons. Without him, they got exposed and they weren't even looking like a playoff team, as if they didn't deserve to be in the playoff. And in my mind, this shows 2 things. This shows first off how valuable Ben Simmons is as a player, and secondly, how garbage this roster is. This team was poorly built this past offseason. Watching Embiid put up numbers with a bunch of scrubs around him was really depressing to see. There is no way you get swept after investing so much money this offseason. Elton Brand, what the hell, man? They also took one of the biggest L's this postseason and have some serious revamping to do, because simple things like not being able to feed Embiid in the post are just unacceptable. It's a serious problem that no NBA team in the year 2020 should have. So for the amount of pity that I have for the 76ers, I'm not gonna fail them, but you got me bent if you think I'm giving them a C. They got a D for me, bro. Watching the Celtics pound on the 76ers is like watching someone beat on a dead man. The D for the 76ers stands for damn, because that's all I gotta say. Damn. The Indiana Pacers, the Orlando Magic, and the Brooklyn Nets all had like little to no expectations, so these teams aren't really worth grading like that, but for the sake of the viewers, I'm just gonna give them all a C, because they did what they're supposed to do, get the hell out of our faces because no one wants to watch. I view these 3 teams as that kid in that class, and I know what you're talking about when I mean that kid that we all expect to go ahead and flop and maybe drop out of school or like flake and fail all their exams and stuff like that. Yeah, I view them as in the same light. We've already accepted their failure, and hey, it happens. Not everyone is meant for school. And would you look at that? The video's approaching 10 minutes and I ain't gonna lie, I'm feeling kind of tired. Part 2 of grading each team's playoff performances which is probably going to be, of course, the Western Conference, since I just tackled down all the Eastern Conference teams, will be coming out as soon as this video hits 1.5k likes, or, you know, in 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, you know how I go days. So yeah, this is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you for coming over here on my channel and seeing what I have to talk about today. As usual, bro, that is extremely dope of you, and I hella appreciate you. Don't take that for granted. But I also want you to go ahead and show me love and not take me for granted by liking this video, subscribing if you haven't already, leaving your thoughts and comments down below. And also, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and check out the newest podcast episode on the Rusty and Mojo show, and I'm also need you to go ahead and subscribe to Yo Mojo, my second channel. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all of that, blah blah blah. But aside from all that, I want you to make sure that you make your day great, and I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made it free the way, told my girl who that